Yes, guys, and welcome back to another opposition preview. It is a big one, people. Champions League does return. Arsenal against Bayern Munich, a game that has very, very rich history behind it. We've played each other quite a few times over the recent years, and we meet again for this quarter final. Only 8 teams do remain in the Champions League, and I'm joined by a very special guest, a Bayern Munich fan. We're joined with the Bayern View. Thank you very much for coming on, man. And how you doing? You all good?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no worries at all, man. Guys, before we do start, make sure you go and drop a sub to the Bayern View channel. Amazing content they do over there. As you can tell by the name, it's everything to do with Bayern Munich. So go over there, give them a sub, and yeah, go and check them out off this as well. But I'm going to dive straight into things, people. Make sure you leave your comments down below, score predictions, lineups, all that stuff for this massive game. But yeah, let's get right into it, my man. So yeah, Arsenal, Bayern Munich, of course, Champions League. And I'm gonna ask you about, of course, your season so far, and obviously what it's been like for you this season. Because I'll be real, I'm shocked. Like as a neutral, I don't watch Bundesliga, week in week out. Obviously, I like to keep up to date with all the leagues around the world, and just knowing the fact that you lot have been dominant year in year out. To see how you're performing this season, see where you are, and to see the drop off this season, I understand it. Like Leverkusen, they're insane, yeah, unbeaten still. Xabi Alonso doing a fantastic job. They're honestly unstoppable right now. But with you guys, you've lost 6 games this season in the Bundesliga. I mean, you lost last week, I saw as well. It's just all going wrong. I want, obviously, what's your current thoughts on this season and what's actually gone wrong for you lot this season as well?
So yeah, for me, it's just Thomas Tuchel. I say straight away every single time it is him. Of course, he picks the players, his tactics and everything. Of course, don't get it twisted. All of the players have to have some cojones about them and actually do something. When they don't, obviously, but he's the guy that brought in Eric Dyer. You know what I mean? He's the guy that brought him in. Obviously, I know you're probably going to ask me about that. I apologize, but he's the guy that brought him in. And then he drops Kim Min-jae, who was one of the best centre backs in the world for Napoli, and he's sitting on bench. It's stupid. But yeah, our season it's been terrible since having him. When he come in, I knew it was going to be terrible. I seen straight through that Champions League victory that Chelsea had with him. Of course, it's an amazing achievement. I'm never gonna, destroy it on that, of course. But for me, I don't think it was as impressive, to be honest with you. And I wanted him out as soon as he come in. And it's just Thomas Tuchel donkey settings, mate. To be perfectly honest with you,
it was. You know what it is. I mean, I looked at your old manager Nagelsmann in charge, and
Nagelsmann, yeah.
Obviously, yeah, he won you guys a league, didn't he? And he got sacked for that. So the fact that Thomas Tuchel stayed in the job for this whole season is, and you're not going to win anything this season as well, is baffy, bro. Why is that? Why did you sack Nagelsmann? I thought that was a bit harsh because he won you the league, and now you've appointed Thomas Tuchel, and he's getting, this whole season he's not going to win anything.
Yeah. They obviously we were behind Dortmund at the time when he got sacked, and he went on. I think they wanted to do some squad planning or something, and he went on a skiing holiday with his missus, who is a reporter, and the whole thing coming out was basically that he was leaking stuff to her, which come out to be not true, but yeah, he went on holiday. I don't think they liked the fact that he went on holiday when they wanted to do squad planning and everything. And I generally think that obviously is one thing, but I think the fact of Tottenham Hotspur, obviously you hate them, we do as well, them trying their hardest to get Thomas Tuchel and the fact that he was there, I think is why they jumped on it. But it's so stupid. And obviously we won the league because of this guy on the last day last season.
Yeah.
Well, if Dortmund didn't bottle it, obviously. But yeah, it's terrible, man. But yeah, I don't know. To be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, yeah. I mean, looking into your season, as I said, I mean, you guys have lost 6 games. I'm like, for a club of Bayern Munich, I've just seen you guys dominate year in year out, you walk the league every single year. It's like it honestly became a tradition. It became just a normal thing for Bayern Munich to win the Bundesliga now, and now seeing someone else do it for a change is crazy. Like Leverkusen, they're having a great season. Even when you guys came up against them, you lot got battered, didn't you? Was it the 3-0 when you went to their home ground and you guys got battered by them there?
Yeah.
It's just, and I mean, we're gonna talk about some of your players in a minute, but I look into your team. I think you've got good players there. I feel like you've always had some good players, Bayern Munich, but I have to agree with you. It's Thomas Tuchel. Really, he's the guy for me. He's the guy who obviously is behind everything in terms of the team selections, in terms of, as you said, buying the players as well. Getting Eric Dyer in is just laughable, really. And also he's a guy who does the tactics, and obviously he's a guy who plays the players, he picks the team. It's all down to him for me as well. I think he's the main one. Obviously for you guys, that is he going to be leaving? Because I think you surely got to get rid of him at the end of the season, though. Surely.
Yeah, he is going to be going. They basically said that they'll be parting ways, which obviously is the nice way of saying you're sacked.
Yeah.
But I generally think any other manager for Bayern, and you as an Arsenal fan and just as a fan looking in from the outside, like, you would have seen us sack so many people, and we're brutal with it. This one, they weren't brutal with sacking Thomas Tuchel because it's their fault. You know what I mean? Like, when you get in a manager and he's not performing, like Kovac, for instance, Nico Kovac, he wasn't doing what he needed to do, so they just sacked him, binned him off straight away. Where with Tuchel, it's their fault because they sacked Julian Nagelsmann, if that makes any sense. So, it's terrible, man. It's terrible.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, you are going to get some change. What's some of the? I mean, I've seen a few names going around. Like, I heard a bit about the Zerbi from Brighton, maybe if he leaves and joins, and could possibly, he's rumored to go to you. But what's like some of the names going around as replacement for Thomas Tuchel?
So obviously, I take anything right now. To be honest with you, the guy's an absolute donkey. But it was obviously Xabi Alonso. He's now come out and said that he's staying, but obviously the speculation was there. It was either Liverpool or Bayern Munich. Which one was he going to go to? And he has now stayed, but we put all of our eggs into his basket, if that makes any sense. And they were just hoping on him. They were waiting for his decision, blah, blah, blah. So it's not going to be him. Obviously, Zidane was mentioned, but that's not going to happen. Not at all. I don't see that happening whatsoever. The main two at the moment, or the front runners, is De Zerbi, like you said, and Julian Nagelsmann again, which I think is absolutely hilarious. I got a little card. I don't know if you can obviously see this. I got my little card there because I want him. He's, in my head, and I know this might sound a bit childish, but in my head, he is still my manager because I never accepted Thomas Tuchel because I just knew he wasn't going to do anything. Yeah, I would love Julian Nagelsmann back, but I think that's just going to be egg all over their face. And I don't believe we would have him back straight away because obviously he's the German coach. So I think he'll be planning with Germany for the Euro. So. But I generally don't know, mate, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, man, for sure. Just talking about you in the Champions League, aside from the Bundesliga, of course, you guys was in a group with Manchester United, Copenhagen, and Galatasaray. And obviously, you topped the group nicely. I think you drew to Copenhagen one game, like 0-0, wasn't it, or something? And then, I mean, you had some very tight games against Man United, didn't you? That crazy 4-3 one. Mad, mental game that was. And I'm sure you've seen how bad Man United have been this season as well. They are not very good. And then obviously last 16, you guys actually lost to Lazio, and I was like, hold on a minute, could we see a little upset here? But then obviously, you came back second leg. But what's been your thoughts on so far? You saw your road to quarterfinals. I mean, what's been your thoughts in the Champions League for Bayern Munich this season?
Yeah. So basically, just to quickly take a little side note, I won't take long with it. We were another thing on sacking Julian Nagelsmann. Yeah, we were undefeated 8-0 in the Champions League at that point, smashing PSG up like they were nothing.
Yeah,
and then they go and sack him. Now we got this donkey. And yeah, we obviously went undefeated, obviously. But it was like that 4-3 to United. Like, obviously we won, we got the 3 points and everything. But like, come on, man. Like we should never have let up all of those goals. They're terrible, like absolutely diabolical.
Yeah.
But Champions League wise, I knew we would get through. We are like one of the best teams, even though we're terrible now. But we are one of the best teams in group stage action, if that makes any sense. Kind of sounds weird, but like we normally go through. We never really lose. There is a stat, I can't think of what it is. I think it's like over 100 games unbeaten in the group
stages.
Yeah. So I knew we would get through. I wasn't scared of that. I knew United would be a tricky game. I went to the game at Old Trafford. I was like scared that they were going to get the victory, not necessarily to knock us out. Obviously, we already went through at that point. But yeah, that was a stellar. That was 1-0, so it was terrible. Even though we got the win. And I was sat in the Man United section. But yeah, Copenhagen, they're a good team, but not anything special. And same with Galatasaray, obviously. We smashed it. And at that point, we had Leroy Sané on form. So, he was doing amazing. Harry Kane was doing amazing. But yeah, like I said, when it's group stage settings, we're normally okay in the Champions League.
Yeah, for sure. Now looking forward to this game, of course. Yeah. I think there's one place to start before we talk about us this season. Just some of the matches we've had in the past, just our record against you guys is atrocious. Go back to the Champions League. I mean, 5-1, 5-1, 5-1. 3 years in a row you've done us 5-1. That time was embarrassing. You doing us 10-2 in aggregate. It was like you even came to the Emirates and did us 5-1. It was so embarrassing times. We had Arsene Wenger in charge. I think you had Ancelotti. I mean, the players you had like Lewandowski. I mean, Robin would always have an absolute masterclass against us. You'd always batter us in the recent year. 2017, type of 2016, those types of years there. You had an insane squad, and we were just on a whole different planet to us. Every time we came up against us, we'd always get battered. I think it's going to be very different this time around, because right now, Premier League wise, we're flying. We've got a whole new squad. We've got one of the best defensive records in Premier League as well as Europe as well, in terms of keeping, the most clean sheets. Like Saliba and Gabriel playing superb centre backs this season for us. Champions League wise, we obviously our home form is superb. Emirates is an absolute fortress. Obviously, where the first leg is on Tuesday, it's an absolute fortress. We haven't lost there. I don't think we're not even conceded a goal yet in the Champions League at the Emirates. So there's a fortress there. And then it's just the away form for Arsenal. When we go away to, we lost to Lens in the group stage 2-1. We lost to Porto in the 1-0 in the first leg.
Yeah.
Obviously, we drew with PSV away from home. We beat Sevilla, but we rode our luck massively in the second half. So just that away form that I'm worried about. But how are you sort of looking ahead of this game? I mean, looking at Arsenal this season, what's been your thoughts? I mean, do you sort of come into this game feeling a bit nervous, or are you sitting there feeling confident coming to the Emirates?
I don't think I wouldn't say I was nervous, to be honest. Not, and that's no shade on Arsenal. What they're doing at the moment is amazing. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Obviously, they're in the form of their life at the moment with this particular team under Arteta, and I kind of do hope you do win a trophy, but at the same time, I do hope you don't, because obviously then all the stands on Twitter will be coming. But Arsenal is going to be or Emirates, shall I say, it's going to be a hard game. It's going to be a very difficult game for us. I mean, there's no away fans. The away fans are banned. So there is going to be no 12th man on our side. Obviously, there wouldn't be anyway, because obviously all of the Arsenal fans would have overcrowded us. But when I went to the Man United game, the Bayern fans were absolutely amazing. They were singing everything, and they were chanting and obviously doing everything. I don't know. I really, really don't know what's going to happen in this game, because I think what Arteta did against Manchester City was very, very interesting, to the point where he didn't want to lose.
Yeah.
So you take the draw, you take the point, and you move on. I hope that you lot come at us to the point where hopefully then we can basically don't sit back and you come at us, because if you were to sit back, I can just see you exposing our left back and our right back, because obviously you've got Bukayo Saka, he's in great form at the moment, and obviously has been anyway. Martinelli on the other side, both very fast technical players. Of course we've got Alphonso Davies and Joshua Kimmich on that side, and that's probably who's going to play there. But I don't know, man. I definitely think we will lose. I'll say that straight away. I do think you will win, but yeah, man.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting, this game, man, because I think you made a great point there. Sort of how we played against Man City, very interesting, because we got a 0-0 draw, but it was one of those games where, as you said, we didn't set up to lose, but at the same time, I feel like we could have gone for the game. I thought we could have gone and got the win, realistically. But I mean, obviously, just looking at some of your players, which I really look at, I think, I mean, you got the guy's shirt there, Musiala, quality player that kid is. And he's a player that can create anything, out of nothing as well. One moment of brilliance, I think you can really rely on that guy. He can easily change the game as well. So really right about that guy. I think he's one of your key players. Of course, you got a few experienced players, like obviously Thomas Müller. He's been there for many, many years. I've always loved Müller as a player. I think he's always been quality. Obviously the main guy who we know when we play against Tottenham, Harry Kane up front. That guy scores every single time he plays against Arsenal, man. So I mean, what I'm confident with in terms of stopping Harry Kane is we've got Saliba and Gabriel, and you saw what they did to Haaland. Both games at Emirates as well. Emirates, when we beat them 1-0 and 0-0 at Etihad, Haaland had no chance against Gabriel and Saliba. So I'm very confident about. But Harry Kane's won on fire for you, hasn't he? He's got like 38 goals this season, right?
Yep.
So he's pretty much scored. Is there ever a game where he goes missing, or is he always? Is every single game you look at this season? He's always that guy who's so consistent.
Yep.
Jeez. Yep. There we go then. There we go.
And he's obviously going to be fired up to go against you lot as well.
Of course.
So,
It's he's bound. It's bound for him to obviously score. It's bound for him to turn up against us. Obviously we got our ex-player coming back, Gnabry as well. I mean, and he loves to go against London, doesn't he, as well? I remember him against Tottenham a few years ago, completely ripped them apart. So it'd be, nice to see him again. But again, he's a threat. I thought, in terms of your injury news, I know you got a few injuries, right? You got Sane out, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, Sane will be out. The last game we played, we had Coman out, Sane, Manuel Neuer is the one that I'm scared of because I don't want Ulreich goal. He's got sponge hands. And then Pavlovic, our young lad in our midfield. But yeah, Serge Gnabry, I would love nothing more from a Bayern perspective and a Bayern fan for him to go to the corner and do his thing, but he won't because he loves you guys. Obviously, he played for you guys, and he'll if he does score, he'll do the whole not celebrating thing. He's in good form at the moment. Scored a goal and an assist in our last match. Obviously, we lost, but that's not because of him. So I hope he can do something. Obviously, you mentioned the main guy who is behind me on your picture, Harry Kane. He is, he's done nothing short of amazing this season. 32 goals in the Bundesliga with 7 assists, and then he's got 6 in the Champions League with 3 assists. The only thing is, like you said, your centre backs are very, very, very good this season, and Saliba very underrated. And then the main one that's underrated is obviously Gabriel. He is having a great season. For me, though, I just hope Harry Kane can do something different than Erling Haaland, like you mentioned. Haaland, and I'm not trying to shit on him. He's still got 19 goals this season, but he's not been the player that he was last season, and obviously 2 different body types, 2 different brains and everything. So I hope he can do something different and then obviously get the goals. But yeah, like you said, that your defense is in really, really good form. I think the bit we can expose personally is your left back. Left back, let me think. Yeah, your left back.
Zinchenko,
Yeah, I think sometimes he thinks he's a midfielder and he tries to push up. But it will be Serge Gnabry on that one, and he's not actually as fast. So I'm not sure. The guy next to me, Musiala, absolute gem.
Yeah.
I want them to get him on a new contract ASAP because his best friend Davies seems to be leaving us to Real Madrid. And I don't want him going anywhere. So, yeah, he can change a game, like you said. He can go through 3 or 4 players, kind of like Messi. I absolutely hate comparing him to Messi. I don't think anyone will ever get close, but in that sense that he can dribble through players and, change the game. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure. As you said, I mean, I thought you made a great point in terms of the left back. That's my biggest worry coming into this game. We haven't actually got a proper natural left back. We signed Timber, who can play left back, but he's obviously ACL injury. He's not back until probably end of the season. So we missed both the games. But we got rid of Kieran Tierney to Sociedad on a loan deal, which I was baffed about. Zinchenko for me at left back, the guy cannot defend. I've seen it multiple times. Especially, when Salah came, every time Salah comes up against that Zinchenko, he has a field day. So whoever you play on the right hand side, it will most likely be Serge Gnabry, won't it? Because obviously you haven't got Kingsley Coman anymore. Well, Coman's injured, right? And then obviously Sane's injured as well.
I think I don't know if Coman will be back for that game. He had a knock from coming back from an injury, which obviously is never good. So he might be back for that game, but he will normally play on the left. I'm not really too sure what the donkey will do. If he'll play Jamal Musiala at 10 behind Harry Kane, or if he'll play him on the wing. Obviously, that's all going to interchange. I'm not really too sure what he'll do, but it should be Serge Gnabry, yeah.
Yeah, so this is basically, like, as I said, like we're having a bit of a left back sort of. We haven't got an actual left back. I mean, Kiwior, the Polish guy, he's a centre back. He's been playing really well at left back. Tomiyasu, very good player, can play multiple positions, can defend as well. So hopefully Arteta goes with Tomiyasu, but he's been worrying me because he's been going with Zinchenko the past two games. Zinchenko is very good going forward. And as you said, he's literally like a midfielder. And funny enough, he plays there for Ukraine, his country. So maybe we should actually play in midfield instead of left back, because the guy is a liability at defense. So that's my only real worry is him. Obviously, I think that's the area you can target the most is down that left hand side. I think Porto did it the best with their winners as well when we play them away. It was always down that side. There's always targeting that left hand side because we haven't got an actual left back there. Other than that, honestly, I'm happy with the centre backs. Saliba and Gabriel has been elite this season. Ben White's been superb for Arsenal as well this season. Midfield, obviously, Declan Rice has been a fantastic addition. We paid a lot of money for him, but he's came in and completely elevated us. Obviously, even someone like Kai Havertz, I think everyone criticizes this guy's signing, but even him down the middle as a striker, he's now our best option because Jesus has been very inconsistent. Yeah, he gets chances, and it's so frustrating. He gets so in great positions. He never not clinical enough. So I mean, Havertz just came in and been doing superb for us up front, and then obviously, as you said before about the winners, like Saka is just quality. Obviously Martinelli as well on the left hand side. He's rapid as well. So, but as you said, I mean, it's going to be a great battle. What I'm excited about the most in terms of matchups is Saka against Davis. That battle will be insane. And then you guys say you'll play Kimmich right back.
Yes.
All right. I swear you're playing mid. Is he not DM?
He was a DM. Yeah, he was playing next to Goretzka, but generally they are like the Waitrose version of Fred and McTominay. Dead, man. I had those two together, Dumb and Dumber, generally. And I love Kimmich so much, but he played right back when we won everything. Champions League, Bundesliga, Pokal, everything. When obviously we had Thiago and we had Flick, and we were dominating in the COVID season. But He does play right back at the moment. For some reason, Mazzeri, our other right back, he's just straight out of favour. They're looking to sell him, so that's going to be very annoying. But yeah, he will play there, and then obviously, like you said, Davies versus Saka. I don't know if it will be Davies. It should be on paper. If you think you use your brain, like it's got to be Davies. But I don't know if Rafael Guerreiro, the Portuguese player, the one that used to play for Borussia Dortmund, if he's back, I would generally play him in there. For me, and I know this probably sounds stupid and maybe suicidal in the game, but I would generally I'd put him in the reserves. He hasn't signed a contract. He doesn't want to be at this club, and I've got a picture of him here. You can't see it, but he's one of my favorite players. But he doesn't want to play for Bayern Munich, and I think this day and age, in general, players they just down tools because he's been terrible this season. Tools, and then they just get that move. Where for me, I would put him in the reserves. I wouldn't play him. I generally wouldn't. I'd be like, whatever, mate, go.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fair enough, man. I mean, so in terms of like this lineup that Tuchel, well, as you call a donkey, yeah. In terms of what he's going to go with, obviously you said about Neuer, he's a bit doubtful for the game. So how good is your other two goalkeepers?
So yeah, Neuer seems to be a doubt. I'm hoping that they're trying to get into your manager's head. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's like that. Obviously, PSG did that with Mbappe, even though they lost, but they did it with Mbappe. He's a doubt, and then he did play. So I'm hoping they do that with Neuer. But Ulreich, we called him sponge hands. He is not very good, to be honest with you. He makes some good saves. Don't get it twisted, but I wouldn't put my life on risk, if that makes any sense, in his hands. Perez, young goalkeeper, a very good goalkeeper, to be honest. I don't know why. I was having this conversation with one of my mates that I bring on the channel, and I was talking to him, and I was like, "Why is Perez our third choice goalkeeper? Like for a mid-table team, he would be their goalkeeper in general, and then he should be a second choice at a big club. I don't really understand why we brought him in to sit on the bench, and obviously he's getting trained with one of the greatest goalkeepers, if not the greatest goalkeeper of all time, in Neuer. But yeah, I don't really know, mate. To be honest with you, I think they'll probably if Neuer doesn't play, I think they'll play Ulreich. And yeah, just the saves. If you haven't watched it, go and watch the recent game when we lost. He should make a couple of those saves generally.
Yeah, so that's in terms of your goalkeepers. Now, your back four, as you said, should be on paper, should be Davis, right back, Kimmich, left back. And then Kim Min-jae as well. This guy you signed from Napoli. You know, this guy's superb, man. Has he been living up to the standard that he was at Napoli for you guys?
I think he's out of system at the moment. Obviously, he's not in the same system. It's a totally different league, totally different manager, totally different players. I think he's been good this season. The last game, he was at fault for 2 of the goals. But what do you expect when he goes to play for his country, comes back, and he's been sitting on the bench the whole time and has been replaced by Eric Dyer, which Moonhead, don't even get me started on that one. We'll be all year. But yeah, Kim Min-jae is amazing. I absolutely love him. I don't want him going absolutely anywhere. And I don't think he will. There was an interview, and he's basically saying, like, this is football. Sometimes you're out of form and you have to. He's very humble, put it that way. But for me, I lineup wise, I think Kimmich be right back, Davies left back. I think he will go with Eric Dyer and De Ligt, to be honest with you.
Wow, Eric Dyer. Yeah, we've played against him before. We know this guy very well. Seen him a lot in the Premier League. And then, De Ligt's an interesting one because we was actually linked with a few rumors going around in the window just gone that De Ligt may be moving on from Bayern.
Yes.
Is that right? Is he going to be moving on? Yeah.
Yeah, there was that rumor because he was not playing at all. I think he said that he's happy with Bayern, but you know what the footballers are like, they're so PR trained. So I don't know if he will or if he won't. To be honest with you, if I was him, I would stay personally. I think under Julian Nagelsmann, he was one of the best centre backs in the world. For me, obviously we didn't win the Champions League last season, but I think, yeah, he knocking the ball off of the line, just a great centre back, fantastic last season. He was brilliant, and now he's just a shadow of himself. And I guess that's the system, and under different managers. But yeah, I think he was linked with you guys. I think that was true. I don't think that was like one of those fake things. And I could definitely see him going to the Premier League if he is to move. But I don't want rid of this guy. I think you can see, if you go back to his time at Ajax, where he's Dutch, he's from that country that club is in. But the passion that he has for, like, he's one of those players that plays for the badge.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wouldn't want rid of him, to be honest with you. I really wouldn't.
So then midfield, you guys will play Goretzka,
and if Pavlovic's back, it'll be Goretzka, Pavlovic. If not, it will be Lima. And he's basically the Australian McTominay, put it that way.
Oh my days, man.
Terrible, mate. Absolutely diabolical.
Where did you sign Lima from again?
Leipzig.
Oh, Leipzig, right.
On a free, I believe.
Yeah, on the free. Wow.
I'm glad it was free.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. And then would it be you guys play a 4-3-3?
4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1. So then
Musiala will Cam left mid, right mid.
Yeah, Musiala will be in front of them.
He should be. It depends on what Tuchel wants to do. If Koeman's back and he wants to go Koeman and Gnabry, then I think he might play him in the middle. But I would like Thomas Müller in this game. I think his intelligence playing in these games is very important. But for some reason, Tuchel seems to not put him in these games. And but yeah, Jamal Musiala will either play on the left or he will play behind the striker. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I look at, as I said, you do have some good players there. You got some great players. It's just, I think we all know your manager, man, Thomas Tuchel. Ante has got a great record against Tuchel as well. I think they've played each other obviously when he's at Chelsea, and Ante I think they played 4 times, and Ante only lost once against him. So he always seems to get one over Tuchel. So there's that as well in there. But what I usually do every single guest I get on, right? I usually do a combined 11, and so yeah, I'm going to share the screen based on we'll do it based on obviously form this season. Arsenal and Bayern Munich combined 11, right? Right. Can you guys see the screen? Yeah, is it on yet? Typical StreamYard people. Yeah. So formation, should we just go with a 4-3-3?
Yeah, that's blessing.
We go 4-3-3. What's this? So yeah, obviously goalkeeper Neuer. He's played quite a lot for you. I know he's had an injury, right?
He did. But he's been amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's Manuel Neuer we're talking about. Obviously, Raya. We've got David Raya in goal. He's been a good signing. He's kept the most clean sheets in the Premier League. But I think it's Manuel Neuer we're talking about here, people. I think we're going to have to go with Neuer in goal. As simple as that. Left back, Alphonso Davies, of course. He's been having a good season for you, no?
No, not really. But I
not.
think he would probably be the player to go in there. Obviously, you've got Ozzy Zinchenko in there.
Yeah.
I think Guerrero is another one, but I think Alphonso Davies, if we're doing a combined 11, probably will be that guy. Yeah.
I have to agree with that as well. Just only because our left back situation is we've not got an actual left back there. So 2 centre backs. This is interesting, man, because I love Kim Min-jae as well. I think he's quality, bro. Even at Napoli, this guy was superb. Obviously you got the Lit who we just spoke about, who we know is solid as well. I mean, even at Ajax, that guy was insane. He's quality as well. But Gabriel and Saliba, for me, have just been elite this season for us, man. They've been elite. So I think Saliba's been better. Some Arsenal fans may disagree, but honestly, I'll go Saliba, and then I'll give you Kim Min-jae or De Ligt.
No. Take both of them. Take both.
You're gonna
Bless.
you give me both, yeah, both.
Yeah, I'll give you both because
Fair
at the
play.
end of the day, the way I see it is it's a partnership, and we are. I'm not having Eric Dyer in this team. I'm putting that there. I'm not having that donkey anywhere near this team. So no, I have both of them because it's obviously a partnership, and our players have been left, right, and centre. We don't know who's going to play. So yeah,
Fair play. Right back. Obviously, Ben White has been superb this season for Arsenal. The guy can go forward, can cross the ball as well, overlap, defensively as well. Like he's been tested a few times and he's really, done well against whoever he's up against. Not really anyone's really done him up, really, if you think about it. Whereas on the other side, it's a different story. So I mean, your right back, obviously, you said is Kimmich. I saw a few. I saw a few of your Bayern fans on Twitter saying he's been awful for you lot. Is that right?
I wouldn't say awful. I think you're obviously going to look at the senior players when you are doing really bad. And I think that's what they're doing. They're looking at the senior players and they're looking for them to step up. But at the end of the day, when you've got Eric Dyer at centre back, what are you planning to do? To be honest with you, and it just shows different in system because for us he hasn't been doing as well, but for Julian Nagelsmann for the German national team he goes and pockets Mbappe. So I don't know, mate. To be honest with you.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm leaning more towards Ben White personally. What do you think?
I would personally say Kimmich, but
say Kimmich.
This
is 50-50, guys. What I'll do is I'll upload a pre-recorded video and the chat can decide this one, people. Yeah.
Yep, that's what
so yeah, right backs. Let me know, guys. Kimmich or Ben White. Midfield. Obviously, you got the likes of we all know about Musiala, Goretzka. I think Declan Rice has got to get in there for sure this season.
Rice is in there, yeah.
Rice is in there for sure. We'll put him here. And then obviously Musiala we'll put in there as well, of course. Quality player. I think that's fair. And then one more midfielder alongside Musiala and Rice. I mean, who you got there? Goretzka, has he been performing well this season?
I think Goretzka's an option. I don't think that would be who you put in. I think personally, I would generally like to shout for Pavlovic. I think he's a young lad that was basically come up through the youth ranks, was a ball boy and everything, and now he's an absolute star for us. But in saying that, and I hate to say it, because I don't like this guy. You guys will love him. I think you've got to put Odegaard in there.
Yeah, you completely. Honestly, I'm doing this and I've completely forgot about our captain, man. Odegaard, it's got to be him. I think it's got to be him. So that Pavlovic guy, is he Croatian?
No, he's German, I believe. Pavlovic.
Oh, is he German? Oh, right. No, because I've never sort of heard his name before. Is he like a youth player? Is he like?
Yeah, he's 19 years old. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Is this like his first season then in breaking into the team?
Proper season, yeah.
Yeah, nice one. So yeah, but I think no one can argue. Odegaard gets in for sure. Well, you can have the striker for sure. We all know who the striker's going to be. Harry Kane. Yeah. He's the one I'm right about the most, man, because he just loves the game against Arsenal every single time. Turns up. Even if he's in when he's at Tottenham and there's like woeful, in a bad team, he still turned up. So, yeah, and he's coming back to the Emirates. He knows what it's like playing against Arsenal. So yeah, and he's unbelievable striker up front for you in this for sure. Now the winners, obviously, Leroy Sané. I think it's a quality player. Obviously, Gnabry we spoke about. Kingsley Coman again, I think is a decent player as well. He's been at you guys many, many years. Obviously, we've got Saka. Does Saka get on the right win?
It's a hard one.
Has Sergio or Sane been better than him?
I don't think he's been. Let me look at Saka's stats a minute. I don't think he's been better than Saka. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of your fans will watch this and they'll be like, "Bro, you're even like debating this, and because how Sane has been so bad this like right now, like second half of the season. So what? Premier League, 14 goals, 8 assists, amazing from Saka. That's brilliant. Bundesliga, what? He's played 8 goals, 11 assists. He's been very, very good. He's been brilliant. But the fact that he drops off, Saka's got to go in there. He drops off every single time. It does my nut in.
Yeah, fair play, man. Saka
I'd sell him as well, by the way. That I would sell him without a doubt.
Who? Sane?
Yeah.
Really? Has it got to that point now where it's just enough is enough?
Yeah, it's like his decision making is just terrible, like absolutely diabolical. He shoots when he should pass. He passes when he should shoot. He's got the stats there with Harry Kane, but he's not human son. You know what I mean? It's not that Harry Kane human son situation.
Yeah, that's fair, man. That's fair. Left wing, obviously, we've changed it around a little bit this season. We've played Martinelli on the left wing. The guy's quality on his day. He's been not as we know of Martinelli, really. You know, we know this guy could be better. We've got Trossard. This guy turns up in the big games for sure. You could always rely on him off the bench as well. Great player Trossard is. And then we've played Jesus on the left wing, and I can't stand when we put him on the left wing. The guy, again, he's just not clinical enough, man. He's really not clinical enough for Arsenal. So, obviously, you usually like rotate your winners around, don't you? Like sometimes, Sane plays on the left, Coleman plays on left only as well. It's like you sort of rotate them around.
Yeah, most definitely. I would generally put, if you're going off of stats, which isn't always the best thing, I would put Coleman in. I think he's a big game player. And for me, I think Martinelli's having a good season. Obviously, like you said, he's not having the best season, but I think Kingsley Coman obviously won us the Champions League in 2020 against his former club, PSG. This is going to be the first season he hasn't won a league title in his career. Would have won it with PSG, I believe. I think he's won it with Juventus and then come to us and won it 11 years in a row. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. And I mean this with no disrespect, but the fact that this amount of Arsenal players gets into this team annoys me. In the fact that that's how bad we are. Like, and you're doing fantastic. I'm not trying to be a hater. You are doing brilliant. But like Bayern should be doing so much better in the Champions League, and this should be like one of those where you guys are scared of coming against us, but it's actually roles reversed. You're doing amazingly, going in there getting a good result against City, and we're getting smashed up by a mid-table team. So, yeah. What else is there to say, man?
Yeah, spot on there. No, absolutely spot on there. No, I tell you, like years ago, when it got to that stage where Bayern will come into town, we drew in the group stages or we drew in the next round, like last 16. We were, very fearful of you guys. We was honestly like, scared because we saw the past. We saw even looking at it now, the history's there, like the stats and record does not lie. Whenever you play against us in Champions League, you always seem to batter us. But that was 2017. That was years ago. We've got a totally different manager, totally different set of players. As for yourselves as well, you still got that, obviously Tuchel now as your manager. You still got a few players who play like Muller, for example. I think Coleman was there as well. You still got a few experienced players there, but no longer like Lewandowski was always turning up against Arsenal. But then I feel like you have a similar player in like Harry Kane, who is going to be that guy who can cause us issues. It's a massive threat. It's like with Robin as well. I mean, Robin was insane. Always would turn up against Arsenal, like. You in the midfield you had lots of a prime and fit Thiago, Xavi Alonso I think played in your midfield at the time. You had a fantastic squad, and it's just, as you said, it's literally the reverse now. You're coming to this game feeling a bit on edge to play Arsenal because of we're flying right now. It's just whether or not, look, in terms of getting to this score prediction wise and how I think this game's going to go, I don't think we will beat you. It's whether, because I think there's some big factors like, as you said, no away fans allowed for Bayern Munich. The stadium's going to be fully Arsenal because we're allowed to do that away end as well. So it's going to be more fans at the Emirates. It's going to be rocking. As I said, the Emirates record, with nobody scored against us at the Emirates yet in the Champions League. We've won every single game of the Emirates in the Champions League, so it's an absolute fortress this season as well. So I think that's a big factor to it as well. It's about whether we can get enough in the first leg to go in the second leg, because I feel like Allianz Arena, away from home, hostile, because obviously your fans will be back for them for that, and it's going to be whether the fact we can get a good enough deficit to go through over the 2 legs, because I feel like we get the job done in the first leg in terms of get like a 2-goal lead, get a few goals, maybe hopefully a clean sheet as well. Then you've seen the way how Arsenal play against Man City, for example. We can do the exact same thing, and it will be very frustrating for you guys to break us down. And also, in terms of when you guys get to the quarterfinals, right? I've looked in your previous seasons. You guys always, the past couple of years, you've been getting knocked out, haven't you, in the quarterfinal stage?
Yeah.
Likes of Villarreal, wasn't it? Was it last season? It wasn't last season, was it?
Very, very bad memories, that.
Yeah, I could imagine.
We got knocked out by Man City last season, but
Man
the season
City,
before you're on about.
Yeah, Villarreal, yeah. So, look, my score prediction for me, I'm going to go with a win for Arsenal, obviously. I'm feeling confident. I'm going 2-0. 2-0 home win. I think we'll keep a clean sheet. I don't know, man. Because I'm just thinking about Harry Kane. He's giving me this Harry Kane guy is giving me nightmares. I'm sorry, he's bound to score. I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. Yeah, I do see us conceding, but I do see us winning the game. It's just whether the foul was going to happen in the second leg. So I've gone 2-1. What's your score prediction, my friend?
I think it can get really, really bad if we play like we did against Heidenheim, which is our recent game where we conceded 2 goals in 80 seconds. I think it could get really, really bad for us. I just really hope, mate, I would put 9 players behind the ball, if I'm honest, to stop. We need to stop you guys scoring a ridiculous amount of goals in the first leg going into the second leg. So I will go with a 1-1 draw. But don't think that I'm too confident, because I can generally see you smashing us. The donkey's in charge. So, yeah, what else is to be said?
Sure. So, yeah, there we go, guys. Thanks everyone who tuned in today. Big ups to the Bayern View, man. Thank you very much for coming on. Just shout out your channel and where people can find you as well on social media.
Yeah, man. Just basically here, the Bayern View. We do loads of videos every single day, and I'm sure there's going to be a fantastic video when you guys smash us. And yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. But yeah, thank you for having me on, mate.
Yeah, no worries at all, man. Again, like if you're free for the second leg, you're always welcome and to come on back on the channel, man. Really appreciate you taking your time to come out on the channel today as well, guys. And make sure you go and drop Bayern View a sub as well. As I said, it's very easy to do. In the title, click the blue at, takes you right to the channel. Go and give him a sub right there. And yeah, look, may the best team win, obviously, for Tuesday. And I mean, I would say good luck for the rest of the season, but Bundesliga's over, isn't it, man? Leverkusen have basically it's over. Yeah. So, yeah. Wait, just quickly before you go, are we going to win? Do you see Arsenal win the league title this season, or do you see City or Liverpool doing it? Because obviously Liverpool did drop points today.
They did, yes, against United, and that's another reason why I think we could get a 1-1 draw against you guys, because even though they're in amazing form, games just are different, and football's weird. I think you've got a good chance, but I can see City coming back generally. Yeah.
You can never, write off Man City, man. It's what they do every single season. So it's gonna. I mean, 7 games left now. It's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to go down to the wire for sure. So, yeah. But guys, thanks everyone who tuned in today as well. Make sure you guys smash the like buttons up. I'll be back obviously tomorrow with another video. Until then, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your evenings, and we're getting out of it. Cheers, guys.